And here we are. Don't these just look so upgraded, guys? So if you paid attention in our last video on how to do the liquid chrome, and now you learn how to do these. Hey there. So if you remember last, I want to say 2 videos ago or last video, we worked on these nails after having removed some lifting. So I do want to update on that. This is my next set, right? My set after my nails violently lifted. Okay, not violently, but you get it. And so this is what they look like. Everything's thriving. This hand's like a few days older than this one. And again, you can see like no lift. Everything's doing well, just natural, normal, very uniformed grow out. So beautiful. It's great. Again, what caused my nails to lift was the cuticle remover, and not necessarily just using it, but letting it soak in for a long time. So you just want to use it for the amount recommended and then move on from there. Okay, so again, thriving. Now I'm not necessarily tired of this design. I can actually wear these nails, and this is that liquid chrome from Kokoist that just released. They did sell out, and they will be restocking soon. So just keep an eye out on that, and then make sure that you're in their email list also, because they are going to have like a mega discount on it, maybe around like 30%. So if you want to restock on your liquid chrome or want to get in on the restock, then do that. But okay, enough chit chat. So what do we want to do? They're obviously doing perfectly fine. They can go on for weeks. We're talking 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, all that. But I gotta get a video to you, and so I was thinking like, what should we do? And so today we are going to be doing like these really nice gold trims around the nails, and they're kind of inspired by this little ring. I really like this ring. It's a Bettina Goldstein ring, and just so seamlessly easy to wear, goes with everything sort of thing. And this is as much jewelry as I like too, so perfect. So we're gonna be using this product here. This is a Leafgel fixing gel, and this is the lower viscosity. So if you get a darker violet one, then that's going to be a thicker viscosity one. And so I'm just going to be doing a really pretty rim around the nails. So let's get started. Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Paola of paolaponcenails.com, and I help you master all of your gel services using Japanese soft gel only. If this sounds like a niche you'd like to consider exploring, then at the end of this video, do consider subscribing. And this is going to be a super easy way for you to upgrade or change or add to your manicure without actually destroying it. Because if you're like me, you get like little fun, curious ideas, but then you're like, I just did my nails. So if you want to kind of see how you can update this manicure without creating havoc and destroying these beautiful nails, then that's what you're going to learn today. So I went ahead and misted my area for a couple of reasons. I want to smell something really pretty in my on my table, right? So I got this little dental bib down here, and I got the Lily Gel fragrance hand mist. I also like to use sometimes my toner. It smells really, really nice. So it's just something to kind of give yourself a vibe, right? And collect the dust. And it's perfect if you have the sheet, because then the mist can stay there. So adding moisture in your room is also going to keep the dust down, which is obviously a thing if you're DIYing and if you don't have a dust collector. I do have a dust collector, but I thought I'd show you that little tip there. All right, very gently buff the surface of the nails. I'm not trying to remove anything other than just shine. So I'm gonna grab a very gentle sponge buffer to do that. After that, I'm gonna go in with my nail art idea, which in this case is a gold trim. And then I'm gonna show you how to seal that design, okay? So if you wanna add to your manicure, just know that it is a thing, right? You're not crazy. Or if you decide that, you know, you don't like the design, or maybe you want to add to your design within like 10 to 14 days, depending on how your nails grow. Right now it's the winter, so my nails aren't growing too fast. Then again, what you're going to learn today is basically the how-to on how to keep the design that you have on, but maybe add to it. And so yeah, take it one step at a time. Sometimes we think of all the things that we want to do to our nails and we don't end up liking them, but it's totally okay if you do something, especially if it's something more long wearing like gel nails, right? And then within 10 days, you know, a week, 7 to 10 days, you're like, you know what if I added this? You can totally do it like so. Okay, let's jump into it. Because I'm not going to be modifying anything, or I certainly don't want to, you want to keep the grit of the buffer that you're going to be using quite low. So you can either grab your 200 or your 100 grit. It just depends, whatever you're comfortable, whatever you have, either one will be fine. I'm just going to go with the softer side here of this sponge buffer. Remember, we are just removing shine. Our goal is not to reshape. Unless you think you have to reshape a nail, then yes, this might be a good time to do that. But other than that, you're just taking your sponge buffer and removing the shine. If you seriously don't trust yourself and you think you're going to remove more than you need to, please grab the smoother 200 grit sponge buffer so you don't do that. Okay, just removing shine. And so I'm gonna do this on all of my nails, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do about the cuticle area, because surely there is a little bit of skin already growing on the nail plate, even though it's invisible. All right, so we're back. As you can see, I've removed the dust, or maybe you can't see because there's still alcohol on there, so it's evaporating now. So what do we do next? Well, what you don't want to assume is that there is no cuticle because it's only been like a week, right, or 10 days. So you have to assume that there is cuticle there to take care of. And so you want to go in there with your cuticle nipper or pusher and remove and find that cuticle because it's there. Okay, I'm gonna be using my favorite manicuring tools. They're from Stylex Pro. Guys, they private label for a lot of the good brands out there, including one of the biggest ones here in the US, at least they have in the past. Very, very quality, reputable company from, I believe they're made out of Eastern Europe. And yeah, if you guys, I know you guys asked me what's your favorite this, what's your favorite that. Well, my favorite tools do come from Stylex Pro, and I'll link you to their distributor here in the US. Okay, I have two that I like, and they do go out of stock often because they're really good. I like this one because it's like I don't want to say fake, it's a metal wooden stick, and remember, they're disinfectable and they're going to last you a very long time. Also, their tools are sharpened, so this here is not dull, it's a little sharpened. It won't cut you, but it will help you find that cuticle to lift it off of the nail plate. Likewise, the scraper end tool is a little sharpened, so it will let you remove all the skin. I'll post a link down to my favorite distributor down in the description box below of these Stylex brand products. So again, don't assume there is no cuticle. Why? Because look at my nails as I remove the shine. And yes, this video's a little chatty, I get it, but hey, you guys have been here long enough. You guys are friends, right? And if you're not a friend, well, let's be friends. Okay, so look, it's right there. You can see that when you put the alcohol, that white stuff, that's the cuticle. Okay, it's not the skin on the rest of the skin part here. That's called eponychium. The cuticle is actually on the nail plate. So you can put some gel on there and then just assume that, again, there is no dry skin that's going to lead to lifting. So what you want to do now is push back, find that cuticle, gently but thorough, push back with your scraping tool, right? Find it, it's there, I promise you. I think you're already starting to believe me, right? Okay, make sure that you're hitting the nail plate, and then take the scraping end of your tool and go ahead and do all of this. I want you to do this on all of your fingers, and then I'll bring you back and we'll talk a little bit more. All right, so here we are. I've already pushed back and scraped all the cuticle off of the nail plate. I've taken a manicure brush, put some 90% alcohol on it, and scrub them clean. And as you can see, I'm pretty squeaky clean. Now, notice my eponychium what many call the cuticle, which is not, right? It's really thin. I don't nip that, and I suggest that if you don't need to nip, don't nip. Okay. Next, I nipped any like hangnail if it was there. And guys, when I mean like nipped, I literally look for it, and if it's either there or it's not. Like this is dry skin, so I would nip, right? But let's just say that was. Did you hear that little nip? And that's it. That's nipping for me, okay? That's as much as I did on me, on my clients. I don't do all of the unnecessary stuff. Unless the client needs it, do it. But otherwise, this is all you need. Okay, so what next, Paula? So now that we've cleaned everything up, I'm gonna take a towelette, spray some 90% alcohol on it. Now here's something that I'd like for you to know. I have 2 alcohol dispensers. I have one that's in a pump, like this, same formula, 90% alcohol, and this one, okay? The difference is that here I sometimes put gel brushes, so I would not put my lint-free towelette on here to pump gel and then put that on my skin. So I recommend this for your clients also. As much as I don't like picking up a tool, dropping off a tool, this is the only exception that I would for, because it's obviously worth your safety and your client's safety. So I like a spray bottle because I don't contaminate this with any gel that I may have put here. Okay, this is only for like nail art or removing the tacky residue from the gel enhancement, but to really get close to the skin, I don't use that, and I recommend you don't either, to protect yourself against allergies. Okay, ouch. Going a little deep there. Okay, also if you're working on clients, just another tip. Today we're just full of tips, okay? I like to grab my pusher and wrap it like this and then get back, because over time I started to actually detach my nail plate from the nail bed because I would use my nail to push back the epinicium of my clients, right? I'm doing this all the time. Now notice there's a little bit of white speck here, and I'm sorry if I'm moving much, but here. And you really want to get rid of that little speck because it's going to attract, okay, and the same here. I'm gonna continue on pushing back. You do want to be a little excessive, but you know, still be gentle on yourself to some degree, right? Scrape, that'll really like scrub it clean. Same thing here, same thing here. All right, guys, so we are nice and squeaky clean, as you can see, right? And that's it. I'm not going to obsess because at the end of the day, I want to make this quick for myself, right? I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to just do a whole full Efile manicure and all of that. Like I didn't even do my Efile. So from here, I just want a very thin base coat to just go right behind the grow outline, and to refresh the set. I don't need base coat. My nails are already structured. I don't need builder. I don't need anything more of anything other than just want to have fun and spruce this manicure up or upgrade it, right? This is one level of art that you can charge for if you're pro, but if you want to like add more, we're talking maybe $10 to $20 more, then what we're going to do today is that upgrade. Okay, so Leafgel Premium Space Gel is really thin. If you're using Kokoist, the Mega Stick base is also thin, so it's going to be perfect for this. Grab your application brush. I'm gonna get my square brush because I think that is just going to get through this area more. It's a little thinner than my oval in this case. I'm gonna saturate my brush so I can test that it's nice and flexible. Also, it warms it up with the product that I'm using. So this is pretty nice. And now I'm just going to do a coat that allows me to get on the entire nail surface without spilling. Okay, so I'm going to start over here. I want to be thorough. I don't want to touch because your epinicium is something that regresses or falls back down. And so I'm not worried about my gel not touching back all the way over there. because I pushed it back significantly prior to this manicure. Okay, so I'm gonna apply my base that way on all the rest of my fingers. And one thing that you'll notice as I'm applying my base, remember, I like to have maximum control, is that I am not trying to self-level at all this application. I am just trying to get right behind my cuticle area, or that cuticle grow out, I should say. Once I am successfully there, right behind the grow out, I am just using the corner of my brush. This is why I'm using a square flat brush. Using that to line the sidewall without touching. Touching equals lifting once it's cured. And then the same thing over here. And then just thin that out. And then I'm going to cure. Notice I am not structuring. This is just applying a little bit behind the cuticle grow out right there. And then everything else is nice and thin. And that is why you saw the pressure of my brush go down like that. Okay, a lot of pressure. Well, not so much. I'm going to go ahead and cure this and bring you back. All right, we're back and we've got one done. You have an idea of what this is going to look like. We're going to go ahead and do it on all of these. Now remember, everything has very thin base coat. Like you can barely even tell that we did anything to these nails. Now what I want you to do is to grab your non-white matte top. And I want you to put another very thin coat on all of these nails, very thin. All we want to do is basically have it so that our next gel, which is this one here with the fixing gel, the lighter viscosity, the lilac bowl, this needs a base essentially. This cannot just touch. If we were to just put this on the grow out here without a base coat, right, even though you might think, oh my gosh, we're doing so many steps, but if we put this without base coat, this is going to lift because this does not have adhesion component to the natural nail. That's why we needed the thin base coat, and that's why we did that. And now it's time to put this, because this is going to allow us to put on our gold pigment, and I will show you what that looks like in a moment. So just trust me, go ahead and apply your non-white matte on all of the nails very thinly. Sometimes these top coats are a little runny, so I would recommend that you flash cure one at a time, because we're so close to the sidewalls and cuticle. So just give it a little flash cure. A 1, 2, 3, bring it out, and you can see that matte effect already taking effect. You can leave a matte, by the way, by the time we're done with this, but I like shiny in this case. Continue on to your other fingers. All right, here we are. Again, look at that matte effect. I don't necessarily like it for myself. It is pretty. It's kind of like pearlescent, I guess that's the word. Hey, so if you're following this channel, you're most likely trying to master gel nail lifting, wanting to know more about Japanese soft gel, or you want to know more tips and tricks to run your business successfully as an independent. Yet there are a few of you who are a bit more advanced and are already getting into teaching. Fantastic. And you are doing that at the same time that you are still offering your nail services, which means that you are diversifying your streams of income while doing what you love. Again, fantastic. And while getting the logistics down for how to transact with your students as far as what your schedule is, what is your program or teaching session about, or what it costs, you may have to invest or look into another platform to take registrations and payment, but not if you're using Yottled as your booking software. With Yottled's booking software, not only do you get to book your clients to do their nails, but you also get to book your students. That's right. With a click of a button, you get to create an event, have it pop up on your booking page, and collect a payment or deposit for it. Not only that, your students will get an email confirmation along with all the event details, plus Plus, if your event is hosted virtually, like most of mine, like 99.9% of mine actually, you can use a platform like Zoom or whatever you may use, but then you can integrate that platform to Yottled for even more ease of use. If you want to use Yottled for all of your business needs as an independent nail tech, including booking clients and students, use the link below to learn more about this new and revolutionary booking software solution. All right, back to the video. So what we're gonna do now, you need a thin liner of some sort, not super thin, and then we are going to grab the fix gel, and then we're gonna create a trim around this. Now this fixing gel is already non-white, which is great. That's what we want. That's what's going to allow the chrome to stick onto the nail. And then the matte top gel is going to keep the chrome from attaching, so that it only attaches on this border that we're about to put on. I know, this is why we train in nails, because it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. And I want you to be safe with your application. And again, just create like a little border of your liking. The really cool thing about this product here is that it will not move on you, okay? So I'm just creating like wigglies, if you may. And definitely go on that grow out area where your base is already applied. Keep it kind of thin, or you can go a little thicker. It's up to you. And I can already see my cuticle regressing, like falling back down. So it looks like I put my gel way up there underneath the cuticle even, or the eponychium, but I didn't. That's just the beauty of, you know, being thorough and diligent in the beginning and pushing back as much as you gently can without hurting yourself or your client. And then the cuticle just falls on over our product, which is great. And it's okay to get out of the perimeter a little bit for this particular design. I think it even looks prettier. All right, so I put this gel. It does have a little viscosity, so it's got some raisedness, if that's a word, capability. It's got some depth to it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cure this for at least 30 seconds. And then I'm going to apply my chrome pigment. Okay, so here we are. Now I'm gonna grab my gold pigment. You can use any brand gold pigment. I'm gonna pour some from the cap. If you're using these pen ones, the pigment will be in your caps. So you do want to pour some out. The reason why we don't work with this sponge is because it can get more excessive than you want it to, so you can even grab some from there. And now you want to keep the product primarily on the nail. You may get some on the skin, just a tiny bit, and then you want to rub that on there. Do a little like spot treatment in the beginning, like so. I'm going to show you why. Now I want you to come back. You're back. And then do this. Now it only attaches to that non-wipe. Well, I mean, if you really rub it, I guess it can stay on the mat. Look how pretty that is. You guys are probably like, Paula, be quiet. I want to see the design. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, here is some more. Look at how pretty that looks. Just a cute little quaint way to upgrade your manicure. And this is enough pigment, look, to come back and use those little spotted areas that you created at first to get in there, okay? And add some more, because you don't want this to break or crack. You want it nice and saturated. See, so you'll use the area that you spotted, like you patted that gold on, right? And that's like your, what is it, like your refill, your restock area. You really want to burnish it on there so that it does not even think about lifting, right? Not a lot of pressure, just adding some heat, right? Some friction heat. I get the cleaner area, and now start cleaning the areas that don't have that gold. Okay, then what you could do is grab one of those dust brush, but I only use this one for nail art, and then wipe off any excess glitter. Just want that gentle combing. Now if you did have gold where you don't want it to be, what you can do is grab some towelettes or one and then spray it with a little bit, or you can use your pump in this case because we're not going to put it on the nail. So done, guys. That looks so pretty. Look at that. And then you can just kind of clean the areas with alcohol that have maybe a little excess, more than you would want to. Being a little extra myself here, but again, just want to share that. Okay, see, like here I went a little overboard with that gold right here, so it's a nice area to clean. And see, it does pick up some. Okay, from here I always like to double seal my chrome. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using glossy, because glossy has sticky component, and then it's going to allow my non-wipe to adhere, because the rule of thumb, guys, is that shiny, when you're working with gels, shiny does not stick to shiny. Okay, sometimes it works, but consistently I would say it doesn't work. Some things work, sometimes don't. And when things come to that kind of observation in gel nails, like it may or may not work, I don't want that option. I want the option that always works. And so for me, this is the option that has worked for years, guys. So doing one with sticky base and then the non-wipe. Some people would just do like a very thick top coat on top, and that's fine. Maybe you want to use the new perfect, it's not perfect shine, the new Supreme, which is a non-wipe hard top gel, so it does have some thickness. However, we went through some layers on this, and I just want to be able to manage the thickness of my gel. If I apply this, my only option for applying this is on the thicker side, because it just comes out thicker. Okay, so I want to have control, and I want to dictate how thin or thick I'm going to apply my product, and that's why I'm using these two separate ones. Okay, so first just coat the gold trim, and see, I'm going to get rid of some excess because I don't like how thick this can get, and I'm just gonna go over the gold area. This is just to ensure it doesn't wear off, it doesn't chip. This is what this coat is for. Guys, and if you're loving this kind of education, I promise you, when we show up live or to teach a course, whatever it may be, we deliver. So if you're enjoying this content, consider, how am I going to be part of Paola's circle here? Am I going to invest in a training, and am I going to be in a boot camp and her free masterclass? The next certification we have coming up is the Leafgel certification, and that's happening March 6th through 8th. It's a 1-week event, so that's when your classes happen, your level 1, 2, 3. But actually, see, and I like to wipe off here when I'm using pigments because I don't want to contaminate this right here. Okay, but actually you get 1 week to go at your own pace. Okay, so yes, we'll be live. You got to come on live with us so you can get your questions answered, and you'll also be practicing live a little bit, and I'll be giving you some critique. But yeah, you'll get all your questions answered about Leafgel. We can practice some demos, maybe go off script a little bit, what's not on our book, right? That's the beauty of being live. Now we also have live components to our pre-recorded trainings and certifications, but we just do that on a whole separate day. That's just like our Q&A day. So if you're interested, and if you're there, I know a lot of you are like, Paula, I'm just waiting to, you know, get serious or identify what are going to be my main brands, and that's fine too, you know. So long as we keep offering these courses, we will wait for you. Okay. All right. And there's prices, guys. So if you're like, oh my gosh, it's a little bit on the higher end, you'll have the opportunity to win $200 cash, $100 cash, and $50 cash just by completing your homework. Okay. So Nothing extra, just completing your homework. So notice how thin I am doing this. The other thing you can do so you don't contaminate your gel is put a little bit of top coat there. Especially if you're working on clients, I'll tell you this, we might think that glitter is so pretty and all this, but your client, they don't always like glitter, guys. So let's not contaminate our top coat, because then they'll look at them and they'll be really unhappy with you, seriously. Okay, and then that way we don't contaminate the rest of your product and you still have control. Okay, so all we're doing is just protecting this gold trim. So I'll drop a link to that Leafgel certification if you guys are interested. If you're there in your journey, if you want to major in leaf gel. All right. Okay, so I've done it on all. I've been very thorough. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cure this, and I'll bring you back in just a moment. So now that we gave that a full cure, now we're gonna take our non-wipe top gel, and I'm only using non-wipe because I want to be done. Like, I don't want to wipe it after with alcohol. But if you just had one top coat and it was sticky, that's fine. You just would apply and then remove the tacky layer. Okay, or finish off with whatever top gel you would love. Again, for me, it's going to be non-wipe right now. And then I'm just going to be very diligent, and this is a thinner viscosity top gel, so I recommend that you go slowly and you cure maybe 1 nail at a time or 2 nails at a time, up to you, my dear. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I don't want any mess up, so I'm gonna do 1 nail at a time. So top gel, and then I'll bring you back. And here we are. Don't these just look so upgraded, guys? So if you paid attention in our last video on how to do the liquid chrome, and now you learn how to do these, you can seriously upgrade your services. Just make sure you let your client know what something like this with this like 2-step technique of the chrome first and then the gold film would be. And then boom, you can add an additional, I would say like $30 to your base price service, okay? Again, base price plus your nail art. So I use primarily Leafgel products. You can find the link to Leafgel products down below and a 10% code for you to use. And if you're interested in that certification, if you want to learn more about Leafgel, even if you're DIY, but you just want to know how to properly apply and use your products, then I would encourage you to look at that. We have added a payment plan also if you can't make the full investment yet. Again, all of that information, links, codes, down in the description box below. Enrollment for our Leafgel certification does close, by the way, March 2nd at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
Hey, how are you? Well, if you don't know, I want to let you know that our Leafgel Premium certification, our enrollment is coming to an end this Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And because I think this is a certification that can benefit you if you're into niching down to Japanese soft gel systems, and specifically if you are considering Leafgel Premium as one of or your main brand to specialize in, then you cannot miss the certification. It is only hosted once per year. And if you think that this certification is any different or you're lacking by taking it online, listen up. This is Mama Bear speaking. You're wrong. You're gonna love this certification, and you are going to get so much more attention than if you were doing a class, an in-person class. Yes, here's what. I'm hosting a free orientation class that I think you're going to really enjoy if you want to know what a Leafgel certification is all about, what's included in your enrollment. And let me tell you what, your enrollment is once and for a lifetime. So if you want to know the details of that statement, then you cannot miss this free orientation class that I'm going to be hosting this week. So the registration page has opened. You can go down in the description box after this video and register for this free orientation class. You'll be able to watch it instantly, but make sure that you register right when you're ready to watch it, because there are some sneaky prices within this training that you don't want to miss out on, which means you're gonna have to need some quiet time for yourself, about 45 to 60 minutes for yourself, and you're gonna be taking notes. I'm gonna pop in there with a few sneaky prices that you can win that can go towards your certification or your future use with Leafgel brand products. All right, when you're ready, if you want to do it right now, press pause, go down and enroll. All right, it is time sensitive. You must watch it by Thursday, 8 p.m. That's when access to this registration page and the training will expire, and we would have called out our winners of any of the giveaways within this free class. All right, I'm super excited. I hope to see you inside.
Thank you for watching, and if you found this video valuable, would you do me a favor and give it a thumbs up so that I may help more people? Do check out the description box below for any current resources and promo codes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.